What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to this week's weekly rundown. So in this episode, we talk about everything but cybersecurity, right? We might talk a little bit about study and things of that nature, but it's movies, books, games, family time, right? What do we do outside of cybersecurity? So if you want to hear about all the cybersecurity stuff, please go back. Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursdays are usually a throwback Thursday where I pull something from the archive. We have almost 500 episodes to pick from, or I have an interview lined up, which I don't have one until mid-November, I want to say. So you get a lot of throwbacks. But there are a lot of people interested in being on the show. So I got to kind of figure out how that schedule is going to work and how to fit it within my daily routine and what have you. With all that being said, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys listening to us every week. Please leave us your feedback, your comments, all that good stuff. And now I got all that out of the way. Shannon, how was your week?
It was good. It was busier than usual doing stuff after work. Just running errands and whatnot, going out to dinner with the family and then running some errands and things of that nature. So, spoiler alert, I have not downloaded Spider-Man 2 yet. I know I talked it up so much. I did. I know I'm slipping. I just don't get as much time to play the games like I used to. I'm gonna do it though. I'm gonna eventually do it. But I know one of my coworkers was like, "Man, you're not gonna finish Horizon
Let's just
before."
jump off of it.
I was like, but I'm like, I know I'm at the end. Like, I'm just at that point where I'm like, I should finish this, but I just haven't been able to get on and make it happen. So I did play a little bit of Madden because I'm trying to love it, man. I'm trying to get with it. I'm just like,
I need to jump back on the Madden train. I have not played it since the last time we played. I
d-
played a couple more times.
really?
I was good. I got blown out. The computer is killing me. I'm
That's
just
when
terrible at Madden.
that's when it first released. That's like August. Yeah, you haven't touched it
I think I
since.
played a little bit more in September. Like
Yeah, okay.
maybe one more game in September. I'm terrible.
But I'm trying to like it, and I can't, man. Like I just more and more every time they do an update, and it was the same thing last year. Every time they do an update, it reverts back to something terrible that it did before. I'm like, you didn't have that in the game this year. Like, why are you doing that now? So yeah, it's one of those things, man. I gotta put the time aside if I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like on Sundays, like today. So again, production backstory, everybody filming on Sunday. Um, it's football day, right? So like I gotta check out my fantasy team, get my lineup down,
Right, right.
see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, let me see what I got here. Okay, yeah, let's do this, let's do this. Like, so like I'm probably not gonna do it today because today's football day. But if the games just end up being blowouts or whatever, I'll be like, let me go ahead and download it. Let
Right,
me go ahead
right.
and make that happen. It seems like today ain't gonna be the day for good football. So um we'll see. But no, I haven't really watched anything either. I still haven't watched Loki. I still have not watched
Oh, it's
Loki.
good. In my opinion, it's good. We'll talk about it, but the reviews were not great, but I'm really liking it. It's very focused season so far, so I'm
Yeah.
down for it.
Yeah, so we went into it a little bit. I'm pretty sure it was you that said that I was talking about. It was like a 5 or something like that. Was it IGN that gave it a
Yeah, IGN gave it a 5.
Yeah, and I was like,
They're
ooh.
just like mediocre.
Yeah,
But so I mean, but they get to see a lot more episodes up front, maybe even the whole season. I don't know, but they get more than the 3 we're currently at, right?
yeah,
But so far, in my opinion, it's just very focused, right? Like we have a situation that needs to be fixed, and here are all of the players. They introduce new characters as well, and they put old characters in new situations, right? Because they have all these, the sacred timeline and the branches and all that good stuff. But they're just saying that it's not as, I guess, not as weird and not as I don't know what you would call it, but like they're just saying that the actor who plays Loki is just not uh as good as he normally is when he is given more freedom to be a character. I think it's a great evolution of the character, right? Like even in the flashbacks they show old Loki and then they jump to where he's currently at. I'm just like, okay, this is like the most evolved character in MCU, right? He's gotten all types of screen time. He's been in almost every movie on top of now he has his own TV show. Um, and they're actually explaining stuff, right? They're breaking down what the TVA is and who these people are, and they're introducing some really cool characters, and some variants are in there, right? Like the big bad. So we think so far. So I'm feeling it, but I've always liked the show Loki, so it's my favorite MCU TV show so far.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, it beats like obviously, and I guess if there was a scale, Secret Invasion would be on the bottom, and Loki would be on top. But in between, I I guess my second favorite would be Winter Soldier, maybe.
Was it WandaVision? I thought you liked WandaVision.
No, like WandaVision was okay, but that would be
Okay.
I like somewhere in the middle. It'd be above it would be above She-Hulk, and it would be above
Moon Knight. Moon
um
Knight was not good.
yeah,
I
Moon
didn't.
Knight wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But Moon Knight would be higher than Ms. Marvel. Like all these shows are decent. Like they're not bad shows, right? Like it's Disney doing TV shows, so the production value is super high. These people cross over into movies. That's pretty amazing. Because remember when we were kids, like the actor who played the character in the movie was not the actor who played the TV show character, right? So they're doing amazing stuff. But I think the most impactful show that bleeds into the movies is Loki because it actually explains what is going on as opposed to just the I call them the B team, the street level team out here, fighting criminals and stuff like that. Like Loki actually has like impact into like even the 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 reality of the MCU, right? So I just dig it more. But that's just me. Obviously I don't work for IGN.
And here's the thing, I liked the first season. Like it was a little weird, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And as with everything, there's ups and downs. But the first season, I was like, oh, and the way it ended, I was just like, oh man. Like the way it ended, I thought it would set up better for the next phase. And I think they just disappointed on that phase. And that's probably just keeping me like, well, you didn't wow me with where you went from
Right, right. And that was
that.
phase four, right?
Mhm.
It was just not good. Um, so I guess phase five is this. I guess this would be phase five. I get confused with the phases, but I think we're out of phase four. I think phase four ended with um oh man, what was the movie that ended phase four? It wasn't Wakanda Forever that began phase four. What was the last movie that dropped? Was it Ragnarok? Not Ragnarok. I
Love,
mean
Love and War. No, because
yeah,
Love and
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah, that was Love and War. Love and Thunder was before Wakanda Forever though.
Yeah, it
So
was. It was. What was the last MCU movie? Like, what did I go to the theater to watch the last time? Because you had
was it
Doctor
Ant Man? Was
Strange.
it Ant Man? It was
It was
Ant Man
Ant-Man. So
Quantumania.
Ant-Man, I
Yeah,
think, ended phase four. I
yeah.
think I could be off because they don't sell the box sets like they used to. Like the box set used to let you know what phase you're in. Like, here's the phase four box set or whatever. But now with all these movies and stuff, or these TV shows, it kind of throws things off. But I think this is phase five, and The Marvels is a phase five movie, I believe. And that's next month, which I'm not that excited to see. Like I'm going to see it, but I don't think they set up uh Ms. Marvel and uh Rambo. She's Photon, right? Is her character's name? I don't think they set them up well in the TV shows for me to care. But I'm excited to see the combination, right? Like you have Ms. Marvel had a TV show, you have uh Photon out of WandaVision. So you're seeing all these MCU show characters. And obviously Photon was in the movie as well, right? So she was in what
What
movie was
movie
she
was
in?
she in? I don't remember. It must have been Ant Man. I haven't seen that one. She
No,
was in.
she
She
wasn't.
was
She
in,
wasn't. She's
she
only
was
been
in
in TV shows,
WandaVision.
all right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. So okay, so yeah, so you're seeing Carol Danvers, who was in multiple movies with now MCU TV show characters, all sharing the same screen and probably getting, ample screen time together. So you're starting to like this will be the first movie post uh MCU TV shows being like movies, right? So like this will be the first time they bleed all these characters together. And then obviously Samuel Jackson being it, on Saber and what have you. So I'm excited to see that aspect of it, to see them leap off of the TV screen into the theater. Um, I just don't know what. the story is about. They keep it pretty close hold. So maybe it's impactful, or maybe it's just not good. I don't know.
With the latest run of things, I'm just inclined to believe it's not good. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, I still have not seen Ant-Man and Quantum Ant-Man. Was it Quantumania or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and that
And that, oh man, I just don't get how it went wrong. It's a beautiful movie. This the like people say the CGI is not that great or whatever, but you have to imagine like almost the entire set is CGI. Like they're in the quantum world. So I'm sure you're going to find some imperfections and things of that nature, but it is gorgeous. It's just the pacing was off. It wasn't funny because typically his movies, like Paul Rudd's uh, Ant-Man movies, typically have a little bit more humor. It took itself kind of seriously, and obviously because they're introducing the big bad, but then he didn't get enough screen time. Like the big bad, they show him at the beginning, they show him at the end. It's like all the middle it felt kind of fillery to me. Like they're trying to focus on the family, but they don't really have good chemistry. I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
I've told myself I'm going to watch it, and I probably have to going forward, right, to pick up on some things.
Yeah, I think it has key elements that are going to be moving forward. However, I think they just did a bad job with had they focused more on Kang and made it funny because it's a heist movie,
Mhm.
but it's just not it's not their best. I still think the first Ant-Man is the best one, but this one is even worse than the second one, which I thought was not good.
Yeah, that's not great.
It just I don't know where I just don't know how they put it together. It just did not come together well. But again, it's a gorgeous movie though. Like so, if you put it on your TV screen, it's pretty. But I can't even remember some of the story beats. To be honest with you, it's forgettable. But
That's just not good. And again, so like I don't know if it's them trying to go in that direction. They think that's what the people want, or if it maybe it is a fatigue thing. Like I don't think it's Marvel fatigue, you know what I mean? But
right,
like
superhero fatigue.
yeah, like it just seems like they are not putting forth the effort. And it could be they're going for different directors and things like that, right? They're just like, I want different people to be helming these projects that just maybe they're just missing on them, like the directors. I don't know.
So here's a question because we may be bashing it for no reason. So I just did a quick Google search. I said, when does Loki season 2 end? It says the last episode is November 9th. So I'm going to look to see when does the Marvel movie, the Marvels movie come out.
It's that same week, isn't it? Like the 11th or 12th or something like that.
So it drops on the 10th. So
Yeah.
Loki season
Okay.
2 ends the day before the Marvels movie comes out. So maybe the reason these trailers for the movie suck, in my opinion, because they show nothing. They show nothing. They just show the team up, right? But they show nothing. I don't know who they're fighting. I don't know what the concept is. Like it's literally just them kind of showing the characters interface and then fighting something, and then kind of interacting with each other and being humorous, which I'm down for. Because again, I don't mind these movies being a little silly. Um, when it makes sense. Uh, Maybe we're getting another really good, cool tie-in because you remember the Captain America tie-in for the Winter Soldier? Like that was really good when they had the what was it? It was the TV show. It died. Um it was before the MCU TV shows started kicking off. It featured
Shield? You talking about Shield?
yeah, Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
That tie-in was amazing. Like you actually got to see the intro to the movie in the end of the show, right? Or not the intro, but they tied in very well. So maybe they're finally going to do that again because Disney owns the shows now, right? So they can actually do the timing, they can make it all sync. So maybe something will be revealed in the show because again, it's my favorite MCU TV show. Maybe they'll do something that bleeds right into the movies. Maybe because the timing is right there. Like the last Loki episode's on the 9th, and then the movie is released on the 10th. So maybe that's why we don't know anything.
So you probably haven't been watching the trailers. I know you kind of go into a little bit of a blackout
Oh
with
yeah, yeah, I
it.
do. But the
It-
ones I saw were from I want to say 4 or 5 months ago.
okay.
Some of the first trailers.
So they do show a villain now. I don't know who it is. Like I don't know who the villain is, but they appear. I'm not giving anything away because it's in the trailer.
Yeah,
Unless you don't want to
no, that's
know.
fine. It's fine.
Whoever this is appears to have the Power Stone though. Whoever this person is, this is female villain. And you remember what was the guy? Oh man, he was from Thor. No, it was Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. The villain from the first one. You remember he had the Power Stone
Oh,
and that hammer.
Ronan.
Ronan, yeah.
Yeah, it was Ronan. Yep.
It looks like that same type of weapon that Ronan had with
Okay.
the Power Stone because it's glowing purple, right?
But
So
I thought the stones don't exist anymore though, right? In this timeline,
that's
the
that.
stones were snapped away
Are
by
we are we
Thor,
still
or
in this
not Thor, by
Thanos?
Thanos. Thanos snapped it away, I thought.
So are we still in this timeline though? Again,
Ah,
that's what
there
we
it
go
is.
into
So
with this.
maybe it does
Yep.
connect in some way. So I'm getting myself hyped. Hopefully I'm not going to be disappointed. So, because right now, like, so I want you to check out the show. Let me know what you think, because there is some action, but there is a lot of exposition as well. Just because they're just trying to make sense, right? I think Loki is the glue that holds the MCU together right now. So it's like, what is going on, like with all of the branches and the different variants of Kang. I think they're trying to make it all make sense within the context of this show, and then maybe it feeds into the movie. Because that timing that's spot on. I didn't know that it ended the day before the movie came out, so that'd be perfect. But again, they might be like these things don't necessarily have to connect well. I was like, no. So we'll see. But what time do your Ravens play today?
I think we're in early game. So
Okay,
11 o'clock for me, but I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be broadcast out here though. I don't think it's
got
one
you.
of the prime time games because it's in yeah, it's in Baltimore and it's Detroit going there. Maybe it will though, because Detroit's been good this year. Like the last
Right.
time we played them was when Tucker hit that record field goal kick at the end of the game. That's
Mm,
starter. And it was like 2 years ago, something like that. I think it's the last time
okay.
we played Detroit, but they're coming to us. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to be national. I just have not. I'm not that big a fan to invest in the whole Sunday ticket or whatever, right? Like, if you have a good enough team, right? So like
Yeah.
Buffalo's been good lately. We've been good lately. So like we're gonna get some primetime games. So like
Right. Right.
I'm paying $300, $400 now, I think, for me possibly not see 4 or 5 games on Sunday ticket, right? Because they're gonna be primetime games that aren't
Yeah.
broadcast on that. So I don't know.
Yeah. We play at one. We're playing Patriots.
Y'all doing the
So
Pats, yeah.
yeah. So I'm hoping that there'll be a blowout. So I'm hoping because on Thursday, so we go right from a Sunday game to Thursday. We're playing the Bucks.
Ooh.
So I know that'd be televised. I live here, right? So this
Yeah.
is Champa Bay is what they call it. Ah, so sick of it.
Well, you got Prime, right? Because those are on Prime. The Thursday night games are on Prime.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yes, that'll be on Prime. I think this game will be televised. I'm not sure. I don't know. This region is weird. But either way, I'll figure it out. So I can watch it, and I hope it's a blowout. Like they've been playing to the level of the teams they've been playing against. I don't like that. Stop doing that. All right. I need you to blow everybody out or stop keeping it so close because the Giants almost got us. And I would have been very upset. I'd have been very disgruntled. Like, how did you throw that away? And then the flag or no flag at the end, hey, listen, I didn't see nothing. So
If the refs didn't see it, you didn't see it,
I
right?
didn't see that.
So,
I'm not
yeah.
professional. All right. I'm not
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I'm excited to see them hopefully beat the Pats up. Is my wish. So we see Belichick's falling apart. The team is not doing so hot, so I'm hoping for greatness. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see.
It's definitely looking like the combination of Brady and Belichick is what made them go, man. Because like I don't know if they've been back to the playoffs since Brady left. Maybe Mac Jones' first year, but that'd be 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And they didn't go anywhere if they did. But yeah, it's looking like it was a combination of those two things that made them go, and that's just not the
and the
case.
cheating, like
That's true. Yeah,
watching,
yeah.
like recording people
According to
and
practice.
deflating balls,
Yeah,
and yeah, that helps. I'm just saying.
yeah.
But it'll be fine. I'm not worried about like the Patriots have enough W's under their belt where their fans will be okay for a few seasons. Um, and then
They don't
hopefully,
feel that way. They don't feel that way at all.
I don't see how. Like y'all were so dominant. That's boring. All right. Like go to 4 Super Bowls and lose those. See how exciting that is. All right. In a row.
In a row, yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of that. But Spider-Man, I played I think it says I played 3%. So I played the intro, which is actually really good. So I heard some people saying it's the greatest video game intro of all time or whatever. I wouldn't I would not say that at all. I would say it was very sound, fun intro. So I'm not gonna overhype it, but I think once you get into it, you'll really enjoy it. And then as soon as I finished the intro slash story beat slash tutorial, and it let me free into the world, I got busy. So, and then Junior picked it up the following day and he hasn't put it down since. I think he's over 60%. So every time I go to try to ask him a question or to see what the game looks like, I open the door and it's like a story moment happening. I close the door. I'm like, oh, I'm out. I don't want none of that spoiled for me. But it graphically it is real pretty. I've been playing it on my computer monitor. So I get the 1440p at 120 hertz. It's running at a smooth 60 or whatever, and it flows very well. The ray tracing, like you see all the reflections and on the glass and puddles. So I think it looks really good and it moves really fluidly. But again, I only played it for like maybe an hour, maybe. So, but he's loving it.
Okay.
So and he played it primarily on the computer monitor, and then last night he tried it on his TV in the room. So I got to ask him what that looked like. Um, but it looks to me it looks gorgeous. So it's actually using the power of the PS5 finally, right? We're finally there with our Horizons and our Spider-Mans. Um, so I'm excited to jump into it more to actually extract some playtime out of my PS5, which is getting a lot more, right? So like Resident Evil 4 remake, I played on there. I got to play the DLC that just came out called Separate Ways. I've played Alan Wake, the remaster, which looks gorgeous, but obviously it's a remaster of a an older game, and now Spider-Man 2, and then I'm gonna get to Horizon. It's gonna happen after Spider-Man. I think that's what I'll double back to. But it's becoming my primary box because it was my Xbox for a while, my Series X. But Starfield just didn't do it for me. Just it it's I'm sure if I get past the intro, like I've only gotten maybe a couple hours into the game. Once I get past that, I'm sure it'll be great, but it just feels dated to me. It feels like an older RPG, right? I've been spoiled by the cyberpunks and the remakes of Final Fantasy VII. Like this feels too old-timey. So it's not really doing it for me. I literally fell asleep last time I played it. I was on the space mission. Not much was
Okay.
going on. I started late, right? I worked a full work day, had dinner with the fam, and I was like, I'm gonna cut this on at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, I woke up. I was like, oh well, I guess that's over.
While playing the game, that's not a good sign,
I
man.
not a write off. Well, I do that all the time, right? So I don't go into it with the best setup, right? I should drink energy drink or I should like take a nap. I was
But
like, you know
the
what? I'm
game
finally
should
gonna get
be
some game
holding
time.
the game should be holding your attention though. Like even if you're tired, it should be doing enough to where you're like, okay, I'm feeling what I'm doing right now. I'm engaged. Like if you're nodding off in the middle of the
Yeah. Well,
game,
I fell asleep playing Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok. Like I think I was doing something on a puzzle. I was trying to figure a puzzle out and then gone. Like wife took the control out of my hand. She was like, "All right, you've been asleep for a little while. You're probably done here." I was like, "You're right. You're right." So I'm not going to say it's not
it's not
Starfield's
unique to
fault.
Starfield. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I should I should probably come into things with better preparation, or start my day with maybe playing a game or two or something like that. But there's so much stuff to do, right? Like family stuff, work stuff, podcast stuff, uh, watching all these TV shows. Like this is a really good time for games and TV shows. Like, this year's been amazing, right? I'm watching Gen V, which is amazing. I'm watching, I think it's called the Upload. Yeah, the Upload on Prime. That season 3 just finally dropped. Uh,
I still gotta watch two. That's the one
I thought it was good. I thought
where
it
the
was
people
good.
die and they upload
Yeah. Yep.
themselves. I
Yeah,
got about
now
season
season
two.
3 just kicked off.
Man, okay, I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I'm way behind.
So I'm about to start that up. There's another TV show. Like I'm watching Loki. I finally finished the second episode of the Continental because I thought I finished it, but I didn't. So when I went back, it was the part where the celloist is playing. That's where I left off at. So I finally got through that to the very end, and I was like, I could start the next episode, or I could just like start and stop it, right? Or I could just wait and just watch the full third episode because they're movies. So just watch the whole thing in one run. So I'll probably do that. Maybe not today, but sometime next week. But I think that like that show is a little bit slower paced, but I think that show is also really good. So like, there's a lot of good content out there. I can't even go back. Like we talked about, like, I wanted to go back and watch Columbo. I can't do that. Or there's something else I want to go back and watch. Oh, the Harry Potter movies. I keep telling my kids I'm gonna finally watch them because I've never sat there and watched any of them. I didn't read the books. I go to Universal, I'm thoroughly confused on what's going on. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna watch the movies. We have not watched any of them. There's like
But your
6 movies.
but your children have seen them though.
Yes, yeah, they've seen
Okay.
them and read the books.
Okay.
And I have no context of what's going on, right? Like, I get the bare essentials, but like I don't get it. I don't get Harry Potter. So let's keep telling them I'm gonna go back and watch it.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like people tell me I need to watch them. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched Lord of the Rings. Like I like all those things like that. And I'm not against sci-fi or anything like that, but like when I watch the trailers, I'm like, maybe not so much for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I'm not big into fantasy. Like you lose me with magic and dragons and stuff like that. I can do high fantasy, which you throw a little tech in there and what have you. The only thing that's ever captured me fantasy wise was Game of Thrones. But I think it was less about the dragons and the magic and more about the constant violence. You know what I mean? I think that's what got me through the door and then kept me. But everything like yeah, I've watched one Lord of the Rings movie. I think I watched the second one. It was during a hurricane. Uh, and back in Biloxi. I went back to Biloxi for more training because that's where our test school was at, and I got stuck in Ivan, I want to say. So I watched the second Lord of the Rings had finally come out. Um, I watched no Harry Potter. Like I'm just not a big fantasy guy. So it's not doing it for me.
I don't know, man. Hmm. I don't mind it. I really don't. But when I think about it, maybe I do because as I think about it, I'm like, man, I can't think of too many movies in that genre that I have watched that I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to see. But I don't know. I don't mind it because with Game of Thrones, like I watched the first 3 seasons, you know what I mean? But it just
Yeah.
got to me, it just got more predictable. So it was like, I already know where we're going with all
Yeah,
this.
you left at the height. I want to say season 6 is where it took a turn. So you got out before the disappointment.
Well, I was
But
out way early then. That's
but
what
the
it was.
spin yeah, but the spin-offs so far have been good. Like the current
House of
one.
Dragons.
Yeah, the House of Dragons was pretty good, and then there's a Jon Snow one coming out because everybody's like, "What is the point of Jon Snow?" Right? Like, if you had gotten deeper into it, you would have saw something happen with Jon Snow. You're like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna be epic," and then it just nothing came of it. So I think this upcoming show with Kit was it Kit Harington? I think
Mhm.
it'll actually go where people wanted it to go. Um, so I might tune in for that one as well. But yeah, just Game of Thrones. That's pretty much it. I care less about them dragons. Care less about it. It's about the violence, the war, um, that I'm more interested in. So we'll see what comes of it. There's nothing really going on movie front, right? Like I still want to see the creator, but I can see that going out of theaters before I get a chance to go see it. Um, I want to see Equalizer 3. I think that's pretty much out of the theater at this point. And then the Marvels next month.
There was something coming up on Apple TV I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, is it the Killing of a Flower Moon or whatever? The
No, no,
Scorsese
no, no,
flick?
no, no, no. It was something else. The Godzilla one. Have you
Oh,
seen that?
were they talking about they're talking about the company, right? The Mandiant or whatever?
Monarch, Monarch,
Monarch, yeah,
Monarch.
Monarch.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that thing was a thing until a podcast put me on this past week. They were like, hey, they were talking to each other, they're like, hey, are you gonna watch Monarch? And I was like, Monarch. I was like, that sounds familiar. And they started talking about Godzilla. I was like, oh yeah. So I'm down for it. Like I've never been a huge Godzilla fan, but again, I like the B side of things, right? Like show me the inner workings of Monarch. So I am kind of interested in that.
I know you watch a lot of Apple TV stuff. That's why I was asking. Like I
Yeah, I
probably
haven't been on Apple TV in a minute, but I need to because Foundation and Invasion, they're like one movie, one word TV shows, but all of
silent.
those have new seasons. So I need to jump on it. It's just it's really being spoiled, right? There's just so many movies, so many video games. Like this year has been crazy. Because I guess it's because it's finally post-pandemic, so everything that was in the supply chain is finally dropping all at one time. Is this too much? Too many riches.
Yeah, and the strikes kind of made it hard too, right? Like there was some stuff that was just not coming out because of that. So the
So is
writers,
that over? Because I
it
I
is.
don't
It,
watch daytime or late night TV. So it's finally over. Like they
yeah.
finally came to a agreement of some sort.
So one of them is done. The other one I think is at the end of
Okay.
negotiations or something like that. I think I don't know, but yeah, the late night shows are out because are back to airing again because
Okay.
the strike is over. But yeah, I think they were holding some movies as well because of that and TV shows.
Got you.
Mhm.
Okay. That makes sense though. Because I know the strike is coming to video games soon. Because they want to unionize as well. And there's something going on with the rights of voice actors that they want to come together for. Like the dude who played Trevor in GTA 5, one of the highest, or not one of the highest, the highest grossing media product of all time, right? GTA 5. It's been around for a decade, still making billions of dollars. He didn't get paid that well. And neither did the main character from 4. I want to say his name was like Nico. Nico also came out and said he didn't get paid well either. Um, they don't pay them much, but they make a lot of money off of their talent. So I think they said they want to strike as well to try to get someone because now you got games streaming now. You have like it's very akin to what's going on with the streaming rights and movies and TV shows. It's happening in the video games as well. So I've heard rumblings of a strike coming. And that pipeline is already jacked up from COVID. Like again, like all the games are coming out this year. Like it's so many games that I've not had a chance to play yet. So I can see that coming to fruition pretty soon, especially before the next GTA comes out. Like before that thing gets announced, because that this one lasted 10 years, this next one will probably last 20. Like this game's been in development for like 5 or 6 years. We don't know anything about it except for some leaks. There was some some guy stole a bunch of data and dropped it on the interwebs, which I avoided as much as possible. But
That's gonna be harder and harder to do, man.
I don't. I'm out there dodging it. I'm getting away with it. Like I think I got one spoiler for me that made me mad. What was it? Something got spoiled, and I was like, ah, I was gonna watch that. It wasn't Loki. Oh man, I can't remember now. So that's good. Sorry, fall out of my head, but it was something that somebody spoiled for me via I think Twitter or whatever it's called now, X. And I was like, dang it. Gotta stay off these internets before more stuff gets spoiled. So that's why I avoid trailers and stuff. Oh, it was Spider-Man 2. The intro got spoiled for me. Somebody put it out there, was talking about it. Somebody had an early access for a review and they just blurted it out on a podcast. So I was offended. So why would you talk about that? But they're like, oh, it's just the intro. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't get to play it 2 weeks in advance.
But you still liked it. I mean, it still played well for you though, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. But now I'm really on media blackout. Like I gotta avoid Junior and then start my own game up before it finally, all the stuff gets spoiled.
you like LeBron in the playoffs, man. Like he does a media blackout because people just start talking mess about him. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, nah, I'm shutting that down.
Yeah. I mean, because it like so like my knock on wood, my Facebook timeline is usually pretty quiet all the time. So they don't really spoil much for me. There's really if I dig into Twitter, so I just avoid Twitter. Like I avoid it anyway. Twitter's toxic, but Uh, I go there when I need to go there because something happened in the world, right? Twitter is pretty fast at getting you global information in real time um, because everybody has Twitter. But outside of that, I don't really go there. Like I get some memes, I get out of there.
I remember you telling me that too. You were like, man, stuff comes on Twitter before it's like put into news and
Yeah,
whatnot.
before AP starts covering it, man, it's already
Yeah,
somebody there on the ground because everybody has a phone now.
yeah. Like it could be out there like really quickly. And somebody else said it to me recently within the last couple of weeks. They said the same thing. I was like, man, I was like a friend of mine said the same thing to me. He had told me the same thing before. So
Yeah, I told you I got the ding from Twitter in Virginia before the earthquake made it to us. The one that
yeah,
that was felt in New York and
yeah.
in Virginia. I think it originated in Bethesda. I think Bethesda got hit with the earthquake. And I literally got the ding. I looked at my phone. I was like earthquake, and then I felt the thud. I was like, wow, because somebody closer to the epicenter was like, did you feel that? And that's like it's very fast. Like so that's why I not feel bad, but like there needs to be a competitor to X or Twitter or whatever because it's getting weird. Like
Well, you see, they're gonna start charging new members now. It's like $1 a year. It's not a lot, but did you see this?
I did, and I was like, no, nobody's gonna. Maybe people will pay that. I wouldn't. Like they came back and told me like, hey, we're gonna kick you off Twitter unless you pay a dollar a year. I'm like, all right, well, you just keep it. It's just a dollar. I have a dollar. I just like just leave me alone. Like I don't come here for this. Right? And the tweets from Elon, man, on my timeline. I don't even follow this guy, but obviously the algorithm favors him. And like every day you got something to say. Like I liked you better when you were landing rockets. When you're turning rockets to the launch pad, right? Just I don't want to hear about your opinions.
Yeah.
But that's just me, I guess.
It's crazy because he talks about how he wants free speech on there until somebody talks about him, and then all of a sudden they get banned. It's like, dude, this is what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as somebody starts talking about you, all of a sudden they get blocked or I
Shadow
don't.
banned or whatever.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff is also paranoia, right? Like I don't think he like I would hope he doesn't care because he is. Is he still the world's richest man?
Uh, he
Or is
goes
it
back, he goes back and forth with the guy. Um, I think it's the guy that owns all the L brands, Victoria's Secret, uh, like
okay, I got you.
companies and stuff like that. I think he goes back and forth with them. Um, like, but it's just it depends on how good Tesla or you know what I mean, one of his companies is doing because a lot of his stuff is in his stocks for his companies, you know.
Right, right,
So as that goes is how he goes, you know.
right. So but I guess I said all that to say I would hope it's beneath him, right? He's too busy being rich and creating new things, which I want to buy everything except for a Cybertruck now, right? Like that thing, I'm not. I was interested, and I'm just like, meh.
So he is the richest actually by a fair amount now, but Bernard Arnault is the guy's name that owns the LVMH is what it's called.
Okay, got you.
And then Bezos and then Ellison is fourth. That's weird. Okay. He
Hmm.
jumped up there. I mean, he was
Yeah,
all
man.
up there, but Larry Ellison was never as high as fourth, I don't think. And then Larry Page, wow. And then Buffett, Zuckerberg, Brin from Google, and then Gates is ninth now, and Steve Ballmer is 10th because he still has stock in Microsoft.
Right, right. Hey, his deal, like I read a little bit about his deal. His deal was great. Like
Yeah,
we're completely going down the rabbit hole, but he was like, "I'll come on if you do this." They're
yeah.
like, "Sure." And now he's
He's
in the
profiting from
top
it. Too.
10
Yeah.
richest people in the world. So I read it because somebody, I think it was all based off a tweet. Somebody asked the question, like, would you take uh, pretty much no salary for equity if you felt the company was going to, skyrocket? He gave the example of Bomber, like which I guess he got paid decent, but he didn't get paid nearly what he should have. But he took equity, and then boom, now he's super rich. And some people were just like, you saw some people saying like, yeah, I would do it because of the opportunity cost is too high, yada yada yada. Yeah, other people were like, nah, I want my money up front. But this thing didn't blow up yet. So how do you get your money up front? So I just thought it was interesting. Would you trade off salary for equity? It's an interesting concept to me, but
He was with the company early though, right? Ballmer was
early, early,
way,
yeah.
way back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like I mean, he was fairly certain they had a good thing going, right? So for him, because he didn't start out as CEO, like he became CEO way later. down
Yeah.
the line, I thought, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, he's making out. Like now he just gets to go to his Clipper games, you know what I mean? Because he owns the
Right. I was
Clipper,
gonna say, yeah, he's a that's
dancing it up
also
and whatnot.
profitable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like owning a franchise,
yeah,
right? You're Mark Cuban territory at that point.
yeah.
So, but no, that's it's definitely interesting. Yeah. If anybody's out there who wants to bring me on CEO, I'll take equity. Like depending on what you're doing, like you gotta prove to me you're gonna be rich, and I may take $1 a year. See. But no, that's pretty much wraps it up for me for this week. So my plan this upcoming week is to actually play Spider-Man and then finish the Continental and then all the other movies or I'm sorry, all the other TV shows as they come in. Uh I'm gonna try to knock those out. Oh, it was Castlevania. I didn't watch that yet either. There's too much stuff to consume. Good stuff to consume, I should say. But definitely continue to check us out throughout the week. So again, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays throwback or an Ask SSP episode, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So we're dropping 5 episodes a week. So definitely check us out. Leave your feedback, comments, all that good stuff. You can hit us up at all the websites that go by our name. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. Oh, and I'll be in the Tampa's CyberX as a panelist this upcoming week. So we can talk about that next week. But if you're there, I would love to see people in real life. So if happen to be in the Tampa area, I'll be on the panel. Drop all the links and stuff in the description. So I should probably advertise that more than at the 40th minute of Friday's episode. But uh, unless you got something else, Shannon, I'll wrap it up.
That's it for me, man.
Got you. So, yeah, again, hit me up, RyRy Security Guy, RYRY Security Guy, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.